You're listening to the J-Ant Radio Podcast.
What's up, everyone? You're listening to J-Ant Radio, the podcast edition, podcasting from a somewhat sunny California. Today is June 24th, Friday. And yeah, we got quite a few DVD reviews coming up, on J-Ant very soon. One is House of Fury, which is a cool Hong Kong movie that I recommend everyone to check out. Also, anime, a Shinkai Makoto film titled The Place Promised in Our Early Days. Many of you may have remembered his name because he was he created this anime titled Voices of a Distant Star. And he did it all on a Power Macintosh 7600 120 computer by himself. And he was using several consumer and professional animation and design software programs, and he won many awards for it. Of course, by doing that, he inspired many wannabe animators and people who want to get into the industry, that if you have the talent and also the time, go for it. And, of course, many directors for anime have said, he's a rare case. But I think, if anything, it's quite inspiring if you want to create your own anime and if you have the software. And I say go for it. But, The Place Promised in Our Early Days, and it's from 80 Films. And also Voices of a Distant Star was also released, I believe last year. So you can find that on DVD. Also coming up the pike is Himalaya Sing, another Hong Kong movie. Actually, quite a few films that we'll be reviewing on J-Ant. In terms of J-Ant news, well, actually, before we go on J-Ant news, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on Oricon right now. Number one CD single in Japan goes to V6 for Utao Utao. And the number one album in Japan goes to Lark NCL for Awake. Here's a sample of the song New World from their album Awake. It was the number one album in Japan, Lark NCL with Awake, and the number one CD single, V6 with Utao Utao. Congratulations to them. A lot of the talk in terms of Japanese or Asian entertainment mainly is regarding the Initial D movie. Mediavision, a company that releases many cool Hong Kong films, or the licenses Hong Kong films, and they pretty much got the license to release the movie, and it's directed by I believe Alan Mack, and he did A War Named Desire, and then there's Andrew Lau, and he did Storm Riders, the Young and Dangerous films, and also the two together collaborated on the award-winning Infernal Affairs back in 2002. And of course, one of the reasons, not one of the reasons, but two major reasons that the film is getting a lot of hype is, one, because of the lead actor of the film, Jay Chou. He is a very popular R&B singer, and it's his first acting role. And so far, he has received some lukewarm reviews regarding his his acting debut. And as for the film has a lot of well-known Hong Kong actors such as Edison Chen, Jordan Chan, Sean Yu, and it was filmed in Japan. And I guess, I don't want to comment on it until I see it myself. But, I've read some of the reviews. Some are good, some are bad. But I guess we'll see. We'll see when we have the opportunity to get the DVD. It shouldn't take too long, because most Hong Kong films that are released in theaters usually around a month. Usually a way to combat piracy. The DVD is released not too long after it has screened in Asia. So, knock on wood, we'll get that soon so we can check it out. And it's been how long here? November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Almost about 8 months since we started the podcast edition. And so many people, we noticed the downloads have been pretty crazy, pretty good actually. And although it's something that we have, myself and other people within the podcast community have discussed, there really isn't any true rating system to find out how many people are actually listening to the episodes. You can look at for instance, I look at my RSS feed, and it says, oh yeah, there's about, close to 15,000. But then I look at the MP3 downloads, and then I look at the feed burner downloads. Todd Cochran of Geek News Central said that the tech podcasters have, managed to find a good way to calculate stats on, and also, how many listeners there are for their podcast. And hopefully this technology will eventually be shared with the podcast community. Who knows? But for now, I'm pretty happy with our stats. And also, I'd like to thank Isaac for giving us a plug for our episode 55 with Chris Simons, interview with Chris Simons regarding Radio Wasabi on the Anime News Network. So I think that was pretty cool. Pretty much right now, doing research, I've been contemplating a trip to Manhattan, New York, and also possibly Europe. And there's one podcast I find really cool. It's called Podcast NYC, and there's he has several podcasts. One is New York Minute, and it goes on details and information for those who want to travel to New York and have fun there. And I think it's a really awesome podcast. Check it out at podcastnyc.net. So, anyway, it's like I said, it's been almost 8 months since we had the JN podcast, and I felt with our new listeners, it would be fun to play little bits and pieces of previous episodes of the podcast within the last 6 months. So, hope you enjoy it. Let's go! Welcome, everyone, to the first podcast of JN Radio. We're online again. Really? I figured that you, who, Miss Blondie, who always is very supportive of the blondes out there, I thought you'd be supportive of Jennifer.
Well, there's a difference, of course. I'm a real blonde and she is a fake blonde, so...
No.
I don't think that counts.
No way. She's a real blonde.
You're right.
No, I'm serious.
She is not a real blonde.
Oh, come on.
That is so fake.
So, I thought it was real. So
you can tell it's fake.
Okay. Well, what was yours again? Yours teal. I had a teal with Tigre shirt, and it was cool back then.
Yours is probably generic. It probably said the tiger.
But what happened? It sucked because I remember we were having these fights, like plum fights, with my next door neighbor. We throw like plums at each other, and I got a stain right in the nipple, like a purple stain. I think the best thing that I ate today, and it was a Filipino dish called Kilawin, which is squid or octopus and oysters. Hey,
I'm gagging over here.
Angela does not like seafood.
I do, but not that. I like lobster.
Your version of seafood is like fish sticks.
No, I do not like fish sticks.
With Angelo from San Francisco, and Angelo went on a cruise for New Year's Eve. How'd things go, Angelo?
Hey, it was great. Yeah, just went around, lots of music, it was a buffet, and everything was included. Wine, good food, lots of music, and yeah, you got to see the fireworks, superimposed with the background of San Francisco. It was great. We went under the Ghost Gate a few times.
What was this cruise or this event? What was it called?
Oh, it was just one of those usual New Year's Eve holiday party that the Hornblower Company, which is a cruise company, do run every year.
How much does it cost to get in?
Oh, well, that would be best. No, I didn't get the expensive one. I just took the medium one, which is about $150.
That's nice. And did it close at a certain time, or were people partying until like 4 in the morning?
Well, no, we had a boat. And we just kept cruising until after the fireworks, and then we docked back to the city at about 1 o'clock.
Nice. And how many people do you estimate were there?
I don't know, maybe 500.
Oh, that's very nice. Was it a black tie event?
It could be, but it was all right.
Play some music, but for now we're just gonna wing it, right?
Yep.
So, anyway, how was
You
your
can sing
Christmas?
if you want.
What?
You could sing if you want.
You could sing.
No, that's okay. Nobody will download it if they hear me singing.
And Eunice, thank you for being on the air.
You're welcome.
So, what did you do? What did you do for New Year's?
I went to Seattle, the Space Needle. That's where I celebrated New Year's.
Did you do the countdown at the Space Needle?
They didn't do the countdown, but they had the fireworks at the Space Needle, and it was raining, but it was beautiful.
So, being
It didn't cost anything, and it wasn't that crowded. So,
with Seattle right now, how are you enjoying it compared to California in the winter?
it's cold.
Where have you been to? What kind of sites have you visited in Seattle so far?
I went to the Space Needle. I went to the Seattle Art Museum.
Oh, how is that?
It was beautiful. They had an exhibit, Spain exhibit.
Oh, that is nice.
Native exploration, and then went to the Pike Place Market, which is, I guess, very familiar, popular here in Seattle.
So did you have a good dinner or good wine to celebrate the New Year's Eve?
Right now? No, I'm headed to the hotel right now.
Something that you there's Jack watching. Turn off, Frankie. Turn off, Frankie. You want to pull the speakers out? We're off to outer space. Mother Earth to say.
And that was some of our hijinks that we did in the past 6 or 7 months of JN Radio, the podcast edition. There's just so much that we have done. Maybe we'll play a few more in the next upcoming episodes. But for now, we're going to go ahead and take a little break. And when we come back, I'll be talking with a friend, Gilbert Aquino, regarding San Diego Comic-Con and collecting toys. And this is the part 1 of our conversation. And you'll hear it when we come back after the break.
Your attention, please. A new edition of the Geek News Central podcast is online now. Be sure to visit www.geeknewscentral.com to subscribe or pick up the latest show. You can call the voicemail hotline at 619-342-7365 to have your comments heard, or call the host directly on Skype. His Skype call sign is Geek News Central. As always, this is a show you are not going to want to miss. Once again, a new podcast by the Geek at Geek News Central. www.geeknewscentral.com is available now.
Podcasting for the digital photographer. Tips from the top floor. Bringing you the best tips and tricks for your digital photography. Digital photography at its best. Check out the website at www.tipsfromthetopfloor.com.
What's bringing podcasters together in the biggest cross-promotional podcasting effort ever?
I'm the Pickle Man. And I need you to vote for my new name.
The entries are in, and Podcast Pickles Pickleman needs a new name. We're down to 5 names, and now it's time for you to vote.
So, Pickleman, you ready for a new name or what?
Yeah, Nate, I am, but I'll always be the Pickle Man.
Hey, man, we're announcing your new name on our show with an award ceremony. Did you know that?
The Pickle Man always has the inside information, Nate.
Okay.
But thanks for your concern.
Be a part of history and vote for the Pickleman's new name. He's doing it for action and for podcasters. What name do you like? P. Dilly? Squeezle? Pepe? Wild Dill? Or Phil the Dill? Get yourself over to Podcast Pickle after the 16th of June and vote for the Pickleman's new name.
No way.
Yes way, Nate. And while you're at it, listen to the Nate and Di Show where the new name and winner of the contest will be announced.
Hey, soccer girl, this is the Pickle Man.
Not for long from what I hear.
Hey, honey, I called for you-know-what.
Okay. Anytime?
Yeah, the usual, please.
Sure.
Go on now, honey, you're teasing me.
Okay, cool. Yes, please, Pickle Man.
Yeah, that's it, do that.
Yes, please, Pickle Man.
Oh, soccer girl, oh.
Oh my god, this is way too fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
Good?
Yeah.
Alright.
Same time next week?
Yeah.
So get yourself over to podcastpickle.com and vote for the Pickleman's new name. And while you're there, check out the site and find out why podcastpickle.com is the best site for podcasters in the world. Now listen once again while the Pickleman works his magic with the ladies.
Hello?
Hey, Jeanette, this is the Pickle Man.
Hi, Pickle Man. I'm really gonna miss you.
Honey, I'll always be the Pickle Man to you.
I hope so.
Hello?
Who the hell's that?
Paul?
I knew it. You've been seeing the Pickleman behind my back.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't count. It's a fantasy.
Jeanette, stop flirting with the Pickleman.
It's good to be the Pickle Man.
Go right away to podcastpickle.com and vote for the Pickleman's new name. Your podcast may depend on it. Jeanette, all our lives may depend on it.
Go to podcastpickle.com and vote for the Pickle Man's new name.
This promo was produced by Paul at barefootradio.com.
Welcome to Baka Chat. Hey, this is ET from Baka Chat. Reverse culture shock at its best. www.inanet.com. That's AINANET.com. Mahalo. Now back to Kennedy with J. Ant. The source, the only source for Japanese entertainment.
Hey everyone, welcome back to JN Radio, the podcast edition, and I am on the phone with Gilbert Aquino. Gilbert is a friend that I grew up with. He collected comic books, collected the toys, and also attends San Diego Comic-Con. And, often at times we talk about what's going on in comic books and also toys. So, Gilbert, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. You?
Pretty good. So you told me you just watched Batman Begins yesterday. Yeah. So what was your impression of the movie?
I think it was good. I mean, they were trying to capture, kind of like the Batman Year One feeling, of how he became, Batman. Because usually, when they do the movie, it's like they do like a really quick brief, of rundown of how the character became the superhero. But I think with this one, it's just like a basic, prequel to the previous 4 movies. So it's like a perfect spot for anyone, that doesn't know anything about it to just learn, how it came to be, as far as him becoming Batman.
Well, we're not as critical as a lot of Batman fans are in terms of the films, but do you think diehard Batman fans will enjoy this? Is it exactly like the comic book, or there's some changes?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that it's a minor changes, but other than that, I think everybody will accept it, the way it is, because it's going back to its roots where it was like dark and gothic, and they just did what they could, with whatever they had.
Great. How's the new Bruce Wayne? Good job, or?
Yeah, I mean, at first I didn't know who he was, because he was like another unknown. How all these studios want to try and get someone unknown, so they can spend most of the budget on special effects or whatnot to make the movie all that. But I think with Christian Bale, I think they did a pretty good job with casting him as Bruce Wayne Batman, because he did a pretty good job.
How was Katie Holmes?
She was good, but I think she was unnecessary. It's just another one of those characters, that they made just for the movie. Just to make it more interesting.
Was she a love interest or for Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, she was actually a childhood friend of his. In the flashback sequences, she would be there, as his neighborhood friend. That's how she came to be, into his life.
I see. And in the movie, how would you classify it? I mean, how would you rate it? Out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd probably give it maybe A 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Only because, you know, some of the stuff they added, you know, just like Katie Holmes, you know, they added her character in there, and maybe, like, the way he was, you know, training as Bruce Wayne, you know. Because in comics, it's like he went around the world, but in this one, he only went, you know, as far, you know, and they just explained to him, okay, this is how he came to learn, you know, his different styles of fighting and whatnot.
How do you rate the first movie?
Which one?
The Jack Nicholson with Michael Keaton. Yeah.
I think that one was pretty good too, honestly. I mean, I'd probably give it like a 7 as well, you know. But I think it was just like they were rushing everything to try and get it all out, you know, how he became to be, you know, what kind of a person he is today, and, you know, what's his relationship with, you know, Jack Nicholson's Joker, you know what I mean?
Are you pretty excited about the Fantastic Four movie coming out?
I mean, it looks a lot better than, you know, that Roger Corman B-rated version that never came out, but which has been, you know, often bootlegged.
I never
saw it myself, but, you know, judging from what, you know, the trailer, I've seen the trailer like so many times, you know, for the one that's coming out now. I mean, it's going to look pretty good.
Now, have you seen that original Marvel movie? Well, the Captain America movie.
Which one? The one with Matt Salinger?
Was it him?
I think so. His dad's like a famous author.
I'm not sure if it was it Dolph Lundgren or it could be Matt Salinger, the one he's against Red Skull. I think.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one either, but I've seen numerous pictures, and it looks pretty, you know, low budget also. They were just trying to capture, you know, the costume and whatnot, but as far as like the cast and everything else, I think it was just all off.
Now you're planning to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and when does it take place?
July 14th through the 17th.
And as usual, it's been in San Diego for... Has it always been there, or have...
Yeah, as far as I know, it's been there for the last 30 or so years, you know, however long it's been around.
Now, is there a reason why they have it in San Diego instead of not having it in Los Angeles? Is there a certain reason for that?
I believe, you know, from what I've been hearing, it was just like a couple of people that started it here in San Diego. They just felt it was just something they had to do, you know, for the fans, by the fans.
I see.
Kind of like, what was it? That one show you guys had in Fresno?
Oh, the Anagem.
Yeah, kind of like that, you know, where it's just like, you know, a group of people just network and, you know, they brought it together. And for this, it's like, you know, it's for San Diego because I guess they felt nothing ever really happened around here. But then rumor is they're thinking about bringing it to L.A. because, you know, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah.
And, like, the San Diego, you know, they keep trying to, you know, max out the whole, you know, facility. Like, they keep saying they're going to open another room just for, you know, this year and whatnot, you know, to try and hype it up.
Now, since you have attended San Diego Comic-Con, for those of us who haven't, can you give us a glimpse of, as a attendee, once you get in through the door, is it a long line? Is there a long process?
It's pretty long, seriously. I mean, preview night alone is pretty long, you know, which is like, you know, an extra incentive for, like, pre-registrants. It's where they get like an extra night to pick up their badge and get like an extra night to like get, you know, first dibs on everything before their first official day.
That's great. Now, let's say once you get in, is it similar to like an anime con? There's dealers' rooms and there's panels. Is that the same?
It's pretty much the same. I mean, you get like panels like, you know, with film companies. You get panels with comic book artists, you know, inkers, you know, as far as like what's coming up. Or, you know, and they only let like a certain amount of people in there because of the seating and whatnot.
Now, for you, what is your first thing that you always go towards? The panels, the dealers' hall?
Usually the floor where all the vendors are and the companies and whatnot, because usually they'll have like the artists or the authors or even the creators, you know, in their booth or, you know, somewhere else signing. You know what I mean?
How many vendors do you estimate?
How many what?
Vendors do you estimate? Is there...
Vendors? That I couldn't really tell you. It's really big. It's bigger than E3. You know, I was just at E3, and it's like, you know, it compared to nothing like that. It's like, it's just a huge floor.
You go into these vendors, I mean, when you see the booths, now, are these like comic stores, like selling comics, or are they actually industry? What do you usually see?
Both. They're actually both on the floor. Like, one side would be like, you know, comic book dealers, and the other half would be the actual companies that produce the comics. Now, all in one floor.
Do you have to pay to get an autograph or a sketch, or do they do it for free?
They're all for free. I mean, the only way they can charge you is if like they were upstairs, like the, you know, TV classic stars. You know, like who was it? That girl from Battlestar Galactica, you know, Erin Gray. She can charge you, you know, for like a thing. But if it's like, you know, such a contract with a company like the cast of Star Wars, you know, both in old, you know, new and old, they charge. Because I guess I'm thinking George Lucas gets a cut of it and they get a cut of it. You know what I mean?
Now, what if you want to see these celebrities that you hear about and you see on television, like Angelina Jolie or
Right.
Jessica Alba? Now, is that a panel that people go to, or where is that usually held at?
It's usually both. Like for Jessica Alba last year, she was there for 2 reasons, which was to promote Sin City and Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
And she did like a really quick appearance at the Dark Horse booth because, you know, everybody was just mobbing the whole area. There were more people there than the actual people that were allowed to, you know, meet and greet her for, you know, an autograph.
Now, how difficult is it to watch those panels? Is it very difficult?
For the
celebrities, to see the celebrities, is it very difficult to watch?
Yeah, actually it's pretty hard because you don't know when the exhibitor is going to, you know, announce it, saying, okay, here's a free, you know, pass or a bracelet to go, you know, meet them like in 3 hours. You know, you don't know that because they don't announce it, you know, usually everything in the program. You have to really, you know, go to each vendor and see what's going on, you know, throughout the whole show in order to know what's going on and who they're bringing out. Now,
for you, is it a bit? Do you spend a lot of money searching for the best deals in comic books or toys? What is your thing when you go
when I go to Comic-Con?
Yeah, is it mostly to see panels, or do you spend a lot? What's your?
Usually we go hit up the bargain bins. You know, you'll see bargain bins for like $1, you know, $1 bins or 25-cent bins, or sometimes even, you know, overstocked items like toys. You know, like one year I walked out with a bust from Straczynski's Rising Stars series for $3, and it used to be like $50.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you know, and it was an opening. Had like 2 left, and I managed to get 1.
Yeah,
and I was just surprised. Or you know, even DVDs. You know, because I know a guy who's friends with this DVD dealer. They're like one of the most, you know, really known DVD dealers as far as like the Hong Kong movies go.
Mm-hmm.
And they get all the new stuff, and they're all legit compared to, like, you know, bootlegs. You know, you can tell the bootlegs because the copies are all off, you know, as far as the DVD covers.
Now, in terms of the cosplayers, do you see more comic book cosplayers or more anime cosplayers at San Diego Comic-Con?
More comic books, honestly.
And what about video game versus comic book?
You see a little bit, not too many. I mean, you see your basic Final Fantasy here and there, you know.
Are they well done, the comic book cosplayers?
Not too bad, you know. I'd say you'd probably get a better deal, you know, out of Anime Con, you know, as far as like seeing a really decent Final Fantasy cosplayer, but usually it's mostly comic books. You see all these hardcore guys, you know, that made these really cool looking bright, you know, outfits, you know, like Spider-Man or Robin or Batman, or sometimes, you know, the exhibitors will bring their own, you know, like DC brought out, you know, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Robin last year, you know, and they were all pretty much fitting, you know, with the comic book counterparts, you know. Wonder Woman was really tall, Batman was really tall and built, you know, things like that.
Now, for you, how many hours do you spend? Because I figure if the exhibitors hall is very big,
right.
I'm sure it takes a while just to check out everything. Or do you check everything?
I usually check whatever's interested to me. Like last year, we checked out the Simpsons panel and the Smallville panel just to, you know, get a glimpse of, you know, the creators and the people who make the show. You know what I mean?
What about the exhibitors hall? Do you spend a lot of time in there now?
In the vendors hall, most of the 4 days we're in there. You know, just trying to get a glimpse of who's there. You know, like I said, you don't know who's going to be there. Like last year, they had the Wayans brothers come over and like sign autographs for an upcoming game they're doing with Topps, and nobody knew they were coming. You know, unless you were at the Topps booth like the day before, and they were saying, "Okay, here's what's going to happen for us." You know,
yeah, I know
tomorrow.
I know that in E3 they were promoting their card game. I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how? Okay, I know that you ran into Mark Hamill once while he was filming his DVD, but his film. But how often do you see regular celebrities just walking around? You know, can you just? I mean, are they with bodyguards, or can you just actually walk up to them? Or
sometimes, like when Kevin Smith was there, it was just like, you know, he would sneak out, you know what I mean, and like blend in with the crowd real quick. Or even Jim Lee, you know, he'd just be running around. You know, you wouldn't really notice him because he's so short. But it's not too often. But if it's really big, like an A-list, you know, actress, you know, like Jessica Alba, she had like 6 bodyguards with her.
Yeah. Now,
you know,
artists,
alone.
The artists themselves, are they regarded like celebrities? Do a lot of people flock to them if they see them?
It depends if they're really big. Like Todd McFarlane, when he finished signing in the autograph area and he was walking, getting ready to leave the venue, there were people just mobbing him. You know, like he had his, you know, wife and his daughter with him, and people were just walking to him, and I managed to swing by him because at the time of the autograph area, there was only one per person because of the demand, you know what I mean?
What about Rob Liefeld?
Those guys, they do that at their booth, honestly. Like, you know, I'm surprised he's still around, but, you know, people still like his art, and I admit, you know, he still gets lines, you know. You'll see people, you know, go around his booth just to get a sketch or an autograph from the guy, even though he's got a really bad rep.
Yeah. Now, in terms of, I guess the panels, are there like how to paint or not how to paint, but more like how to color or how to?
Yeah. They actually have separate panels for each, you know, process of the production of comic books. You know, like coloring, inking, scanning, and stuff like that, just to try and, you know, help all these up and coming people.
That must be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they even have panels on filmmaking. From what I'm hearing, they're, you know, starting to get popular, and I guess they're trying to do it again this year.
Now, is this a 3-day event or 4-day event?
It's actually 4 days, 14th, you can see. Yeah, 4 days, and then if you pre-reg, it's actually 4.5 because of the preview night where you pick up your badge and all your free stuff.
Now, when you go to that first day, that half day, are there a lot of people there?
Yeah, there are really a lot of people.
So people are partying already? Are people partying already, or are they just hanging out, just talking? What's going after they get their badge? Is there?
They go in there and just see what they can get early before, you know, like the Comic-Con only exclusive, you know, like toys and magazines.
Oh, you mean the dealers? I mean the exhibit hall is open already? Oh, wow, that's great.
They actually keep it open because, I mean, that's like an incentive to the people that pay, you know, early, because it's like, okay, you know, you get your badge and you get to check out where everybody's at. So the first official day, you'll know where everybody's at and what to expect.
Wasn't last year the Kermit the Frog Indiana Jones thing that they were giving out?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And I heard that was pretty awesome. And then there was a Batman one. Are those hard to get? Did you get one?
No, I didn't. I only get what got me interested, you know, like kind of like the Street Fighter 2 only exclusive.
So there's different kinds. There's different
kinds for each vendor or company, whatever they're going to put out, you know.
I see. Now, the fourth day, do the prices, are they lowered?
Yeah, you know, it's just like any typical con, you know, they don't want to bring back, you know, anything at all. They'll do what they best, you know, to get rid of it. You know, you'll see people with 25-cent bins, or 5 for $1, you know, or half price, or 75% off. And, you know, they'll just do whatever it takes to get rid of it if it's reasonable, you know, to them.
Now, let's go ahead and talk about collecting, toy collecting.
All right.
I know that you have invested quite a bit, and you have a lot displayed. I mean, when I knew you in your room, you had toys in the box, mint condition, displayed on your wall.
Right.
Now, you probably had maybe at the time, I would say, about several hundred, or maybe 200 or so?
Yeah, a couple hundred, yeah.
How's it looking now?
It's getting crowded.
1,000?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get there soon, if not already. You know, I mean, I got stuff here in boxes in San Diego, and I got boxes back home there. You know, that are, you know, either under the bed or in my brother's closet.
Now, what is your best toy that you have?
I'd probably say, you know, the exclusives from Comic-Con, because, you know, they were only so limited.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I'm thinking maybe about the Batman, the one with Bruce Wayne's head. They had like 3 different versions. I think it was a year ago that Mattel had. Like, it was a chase. Well, there's a chase, you know, that's better than that one, which is like where he doesn't have his mask on, but he has a scar on his lower, you know, chest. Now, the one I got was just like, you know, the Bruce Wayne head.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah, because everybody else got the one where it's like a half mask, you know, where Bruce Wayne's or Batman's in the middle of removing his mask, but, you know, he still has his mask on.
Now, what about the one that's worth the most? Which one do you think?
The most? That I wouldn't know, to be honest. I just pick up whatever looks cool, and it's like, you know, not too much, you know, it's too expensive.
Now, what's your oldest?
My oldest would probably be the old He-Man figures from the 80s.
Which one? In box, you think? Or
no, they're all loose. They're all old stuff, you know, that I've originally had, you know what I mean?
Now, one thing that I find pretty exciting are the re-release. I believe it's going to be re-released, the G.I. Joe character. And I think it's I guess they're using the 80s style packaging, but any word on that? What is are they re-releasing the whole series, and is this only online?
That I don't know, but I know they released they did release some of them, like, you know, in a modern like style, not too long ago, because I have a couple of them, which was like the Baroness and Cobra Commander.
I see.
Yeah, but as far as like the new stuff coming out, that I'm not really familiar with.
Now, when you go searching for a toy, what's the first thing aside from wanting it, knowing the character and knowing what you want, do you examine the box? Is that very important?
Yeah, to a certain degree, yeah. I mean, I don't do like a whole scan like with a magnifying glass. I mean, I just look at it from, okay, is there the corner bent, or is the blister punched in, or,
Now, the price stickers.
Jack it up on purpose.
Now, if there's a price sticker, does that decrease the amount of it? I mean, or do you have to slowly peel that off?
Yeah, usually, but I'm not, really tedious on it. I mean, a lot of my stuff still has their, store tags on. I mean, I have yet to remove them, but to me, it's not really important, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and now what does it mean when, in magazines, when they talk about chase? This one has a chase.
The chase figures?
What's a chase figure?
It's kind of like a variant thrown in just for, the extra for the collectors. It's kind of like, a repaint of a character.
Ah, so that's a chase.
Yeah.
So I know that one of the things that I purchased, maybe it was 2 years ago, I remember picking up was it Toy Fair, or it's the Wizard magazine, and they were talking about He-Man. And there's the one with the cross, and they said this one, this is limited because it's not released. The cross is a different way. Now, is that a chase that I got then? I see.
Stuff like that, where they do like a little change in the first run, kind of like a little incentive and whatnot.
I see. Now, what was your first toy that you kept in box?
That I kept?
That you didn't want to open up, but you left it in the box?
Oh, man, I can't even remember. I'd probably have to say the original Ninja Turtle series, but those, I don't know, for some reason I ended up opening all of them for some reason. But I had them all, though. I mean, not like a complete set, but enough to say it was complete, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you regret opening them?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I had my whole waltzes with them, in my old room, and now it's like, oh man, I should have just kept it. I don't know why I even opened them, to be honest.
I think for me, the ones, I think because you're the one that kind of, led me to start purchasing them and actually, keeping them in boxes. So I think the first one was the Star Trek Next Generation, those old ones, and then and then also the first Spawn figures that came out.
Yeah, I remember those when they wouldn't have detail that they are now.
And the other one was, I think it was Batman the Animated Series.
Oh yeah, did you ever get that Robin one, the dragster, his car?
No, I did. I think the Robin that I got is, I remember seeing a Robin that you had, and it had
they had a vehicle for him that came out, but I don't know if you noticed, but not too many came out because a fire in the factory burned down the molds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you have it, or if you know someone that has it, send it my way.
The only one I know that I've got was, I remember you had something in your wall. It was like a climbing Robin or something like that. It's one of the old ones.
Yeah.
And I remember getting that one. And then also there was Catwoman, and then Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And stuff like that. Well, actually, you know what? I was able to find some older ones. Not Secret Wars. What was the DC one they had? Superpowers, yeah. Batman. And I think that was, one time I just went to KB's or Toys R Us and started purchasing any old ones they had.
Really?
So, yeah, but, they're not toys now compared to back then. The toys back then, I mean, geez, you look at Rogue and Storm and the painting of those are terrible, and you look at them now and they look great, but I don't know, do people care about those old ones, like those old X-Men ones? Some
people still actually collect the old stuff, like, I know Alex Ross has a complete run of the Superpowers. He's a really big, DC fan.
Now, the ones I do regret that I had, and even though they were opened, I wish I didn't throw them away. One is Shogun Warriors.
Oh, man.
Vanguard Ace, and I don't know what the heck I did with it. And Guy King. And actually, there was other vehicles. The other one was Guy King, Shogun Warriors. Oh, Transformers.
Yeah.
Megatron, the original ones of those. And then, of course, there's Star Wars, and I've heard that the original ones, even out of the box, are worth quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I think that was pretty much it. I think. Oh, of course, Secret Wars. I think it was Marvel.
Right.
Had Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk, and threw those away. But yeah, I really don't have them anymore. What about you? Did you manage to keep any of your old ones that were open when you were a kid?
Yeah, I've actually bought the reissues of the Transformers, the Japan versions, where the parts are actually metallic. Because I don't know if you heard that they reissued them here in the U.S. through Toys R Us, but they're using plastic material instead of the metal for some reason.
Wow, how expensive were they to get imported?
I think if I remember, the Optimus Prime one, they've reissued him so many times in different formats, but the one that I got was the 15th anniversary one that came out a couple of years back, and that cost me, I think, $80.
Wow. What's the most you ever spent on the toy?
I think it was probably the Megatron and the Hot Rod together at an animation convention. I bought it together for like $160.
Oh, that's not bad. That's actually
pretty good. It's not too bad. I mean, 2 for $1, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for me, I was trying to bid on Shogun Warriors, but those things are pretty hard. People drive the prices pretty high.
Yeah.
But, yeah, unfortunately, I think one of the difficulties when it comes to toy collecting is that you see the 12-inch characters, and then you see the regular, 3 or 4-inch.
Uh-huh.
Now, which is for you? Do you try to collect both, or do you collect the
regular size?
Yeah, the regular size.
Yeah, I used to go with the regular size, to be honest. Sometimes the big stuff doesn't really work with me, like the JLA, I only collect certain ones. Yeah. Like, I don't collect the whole thing, like the 3-packs or whatnot, or the big ones, because it's like, you'll be able to find those in clearance, and, I did find a couple of them on clearance, but I didn't pick them up. I only wanted certain ones, like the harder to find ones, like Wonder Woman or Hawk Girl, and it's like I haven't seen either one.
You know what? I missed out on the original classic Avengers, and that pissed me off. I tried to bid on it. That was too hard. And then the other one was, I think it was an X-Men one. And
the box set?
It was a box set, but those were pretty... I mean, I didn't know if they were going to be on sale. And sometimes I wait, and sometimes it's too late by the time I wait. So that's the difficulty, I think, for me, collecting toys. But for you, do you purchase them, or do you wait a year?
I usually wait them out. I mean, I got lucky with my original X-Men box set, the ones when they were wearing their very first costumes in X-Men #1.
Yeah.
I waited on that until it was like $17 at KB's.
Now, are movie-based toys worth getting, or not really?
Not really. I mean,
like Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Those I picked up on maybe like the dolls. Other than that, I wouldn't really pick them up. There's just another merchandising scheme.
I remember Mary Jane. There was a certain color that people were trying to find, and
I think it was like a pink one or something. I can't remember, but.
And then I know the X-Men. I picked up they were so dirt cheap. The first movie, the toys, and I am sure they had so many of those, and I picked those up. But I don't think those things are going to be worth that much. But
but they just kept speculating that they're really cool toys because they were one of the first toys to like acknowledge the actors as the characters, with their names on the BOSA cards.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a difficult one to find. I think wasn't it a Professor X or something like that was.
Yeah, but then in the end, it's like you can find any of them in the bargain bins after a while because of the overstock.
Yeah, that's true. Now, if there was one that, for you, what was the most difficult one to find? For me, for a toy that I wanted to find and I wanted it, but too difficult, I waited on it, was Invisible Girl from the original, I think it was back in the 90s, for the Fantastic Four set.
Uh-huh.
Missed out on that. I got the 3, but was unable to get her. For you, which toy or character that you were trying to get, but unfortunately it was too difficult to get?
Never got my hands on.
What's that?
Shoot, I can't even remember. There's been a couple here and there, but the one that for now that I'm looking for is the Dark Phoenix chase figure in the Marvel Legends.
Well, the green costume and the red costume?
The red one, yeah. The red one's like the chase figure. I got the green one, which was, hard to believe. I found that, at a Walmart down here after I ran some errands.
Have Jean Grey characters been difficult to get, or were they pretty easy?
It hasn't been too bad, but, either Phoenix is still hard to get.
What about Gambit?
Gambit, he's pretty easy to, you can see him warming up the pegs, he's there all the time.
And Cyclops or...
Yeah, he's actually coming out in the next series of Marvel Legends.
Now, I'm kind of confused. They call it Marvel Legends, but then when I saw Daredevil, it was the Ben Affleck movie, Daredevil. But that's not a legend. That was just a movie. I don't understand.
At first, I think it was kind of like a semi-chase figure because, he was kind of hard to find when that series broke out. But then after a while, I don't know why, they just mass marketed them, and now all you see them is just everywhere, just warming up the pegs, and it's like nobody really interested in them. But before they used to be like all up on them because it's like, it's a movie figure, it doesn't belong into the regular continuity. I gotta have them. I'll drop $50 or so, for what people are saying.
Yeah, there's another one, the Yellow Daredevil. That was very hard. That has eluded me. I could never find it.
Yeah, I heard that was like 1 in 30 cases or so.
Were you able to get?
No, I didn't. I got the regular one though. My brother got that for me for Christmas.
Now, how difficult is it in your area to find because I'm sure there's a lot of collectors there.
It's the one that I usually go to, the one that everybody goes to. That one's pretty hard. We actually got to talk to one of the stock people, which I think she was like the main person. She was telling me at the time that I would never find, the chase figures of, the Green Hulk or the Smiling Bullseye from the Galactic series. And I was like, okay, whatever, And I'm thinking maybe, she's out there sneaking out the, chase figures or whatnot. But
did you say
every
Bullseye?
time I go there, I can't find anything, that's, one per case.
Did you say Bullseye?
Yeah, there's a Bullseye variant where he's like...
Smiling?
Smiling, yeah. The regular one is where he's like, just mad dog.
Yeah, the Smiling one I have been unable to find as well. But now, what do you think about the cost of these toys? Do you think they've been driven up because people are collecting them like comics, or do you think that it's because of now with the articulation, like 180 or 108 points of articulation, and it's becoming more, compared to the way they were back then, probably more expensive to build now. I don't know. But do you think that's why the prices have gone up? What have you seen in terms of the toys? Because since you've been collecting them for what, a decade or more?
Yeah, I think it's all just a marketing scheme. Honestly, I don't think they cost that much. I mean, you see a couple of these on sale, when they're like warming up the pegs and just taking over for like $3. I've seen KVs here before they closed down. They were marked down to like 50% off, 75% off. You can walk away with the Marvel Legends figure for $3. You know what I mean?
Now, when you collected them, how much do you remember spending on a character on one toy? Yeah. Compared to now, they're $8.99
now. Like
now.
maybe $5. The very first Toy Biz figures. Remember those?
Yeah, so they increased by about $3 then. So it's $8.99, $7.99 where you're at, I guess. And
yeah, they're about $6.88 Marvel Legends here, but it's like you're not gonna get like the hard to find figures because there's either someone there on the inside or someone there, every morning just picking up the stuff like that. Because I've been to a couple of mornings where I'm hoping to find something, but it's like I gave up on that. I'm not gonna fight with the workers or the Hot Wheel guys. These old guys in their 40s, but trying to get all the stuff in eBay.
Now, what about Star Wars? Are you a big collector for Star Wars figures?
Somewhat. I mean, I got all the exclusive from Comic-Con in the last 4 years. I pick up some of them, that I find like. For episode 3, I found the red Royal Guard instead of the blue one.
Oh, cool! I heard the clone stormtroopers are the big ones to find.
Yeah, like the colors and whatnot. I mean, I'm not really too sure, what's hot and whatnot, but I've always heard message boards, they want the red one or the green one,
And that was the first part with my conversation with Gilbert Aquino. And in the next episode, we will be talking about comic books, so that will be quite interesting. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end the episode, and, this one was kind of long. So, you guys take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Visit JEnt on the web at www.nt2099.com/J-ENT and email JEnt Radio at nt2099@gmail.com. See you next time.